3, 2, 1.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? What's up?
How you doing?
How you doing?
Woo, I'm here.
How your mama doing?
How your mama doing?
We got the AC on because it's starting to warm up around Colorado in these parts.
It's hot up in her.
So it's hot up in her. So it's
like Nelly.
Like Nelly, hot in her. I said her.
No.
All your clothes. Woo.
It's beautiful though.
Leave
I'm
it
ready for
close.
this.
Yes, I'm so glad it's warming up because the cold is annoying. I'm telling you.
It's Colorado though.
It's Colorado.
And
So
so the older you get, is it like harder for you to be in the cold?
I never liked the cold to begin with, but it's alright. I mean, now, you know, I prefer warm. So
Me too.
yeah,
I need to be like on the beach.
on the beach with my, what do you call those things that they drink?
The little coconut?
Yeah,
drink.
the coconut
I
with the
love
umbrella
those.
in there. Yeah,
With an umbrella.
umbrella.
Yeah, that's what I need to
That's
be.
right. I'm Gracie Phoenix
Miss Epic.
in the house.
What it do? What it do?
You watching Wide Awake Live?
Are y'all ready?
Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah, you ready?
I'm ready. It's
right.
going down. You know what I'm saying? I look forward to this day all week.
All week on Tuesdays, I get excited to go to my job just so I can come here. I'll wake up
Me
on
too.
Tuesday morning like I'm going to Wide Awake, and I'm not even going to Wide Awake. I'm going to work
Going to
first.
work. But you know that Wide Awake is coming.
Another Wide Awake is coming, exactly. So,
And I know so many
Yes.
people who look forward to that too. You guys have been showing so much love, not only on our page, TV Network, text messages, phone calls, like I said before. So we really appreciate everybody who's tuning in and taking the time to share and show that love.
yeah,
We appreciate
we appreciate that. We appreciate you guys. Yes,
We love it.
and continue to share, comment, and like and stuff. You know, I hope you guys can feel the vibe. I mean, you know, we trying to do this joint. It's live. It's like she says, raw and uncut. You know, no edits. It's not like chopped and screwed or nothing. It's live and raw. So everything that you hear from us is isn't it from Texas?
It's Midwest, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's real.
It's real.
Yeah, chopped and screwed is down south.
It is down. Is it Texas or just down south?
It's just down south in general.
You remember when Chopped and Screwed came out?
Yes.
That was the hardest thing ever. I loved the Chopped and
You
Screwed
do?
era. I loved it. I used to love it.
It's not my thing. And I lived in Dallas for 7 years, and that's all I heard. Like, no disrespect, you know, different flavors for different people.
For
but
different people,
chopped
yeah.
it's just too slow for me. Like, I'm more East Coast. Like, I need something where I can
Vibe
get
to
the
it,
other
yeah.
vibe to it, you know? I'm
I
falling
like
asleep,
it.
like, listening to chopped and screwed. Like,
I guess the reason why I may have liked it is because I live in Denver, so to hear a different style of music and to hear the remixes of the songs I actually like, just kind of chopped and screwed. I thought it was cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty cool.
yeah, we know why they made chopped and screwed
No,
music.
what?
Lean.
What's that?
You don't know what lean is?
No.
It's a drink. It's like hydrocodone and Sprite, and it's like a really big thing. But that's where chopped and screwed music
Really?
came from.
I didn't know that.
So
I ain't never heard of that, y'all. I'm sorry, I'm late on that one. I don't know nothing about that.
So that's why people vibe to it, because when you drink it, it causes you to be like really lethargic, laid back, and just chill. So they listen to their chopped and screwed music and
Really? I did not know that.
learn something new.
Every day while we listen to that Equimini, like that liberation, we talking about down south and we listening to it. Erica Badu, what, from Dallas?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. I got to work with some of her producers before, so she's so dope. I love Erica Badu.
Me too.
She's dope.
Yes.
From day one and still to
From
this
day one and still to this day. Yes. Hey Albert, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Hey. So yeah. What are we getting into today?
What are we getting into today?
Yes.
So, you know, we've been discussing some things, looking at some things, and the big focus today is going to be relationships
Yes.
and how to fight fair. Is there such a thing as a fair fight?
Yes, I think there can be a fair fight. I
Okay.
think there can be a fair fight. I think what we got what not to say during an argument, and like hitting below the belt, or you know, hurting people's feelings intentionally, or even on accident. Like,
Yeah.
how do you not say something to your partner, your brother, your sister? I mean, I've been there.
Kids,
Your kids
at work.
Your kids at work.
Woo, baby, let me
Yes,
tell you, I've
yes.
been experiencing all that this year.
Yeah,
and it's
I have.
very
Yeah.
difficult.
Mhm.
Very.
Yep.
So me personally, I know when I was married or in a relationship, the thing that I really try to do is think about something before I say it. Because when you're in the heat of the moment, it's so easy to say something that you cannot take back. And you can't just say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and it erases that.
Yep.
Once you say it, it's out there forever.
Yep.
And I used to be someone who was a fireball. Like, I didn't
Yep.
care what I said, how it affected you. Like, I really wanted someone to feel the impact of
My
what I was
words.
feeling.
Yep.
You know. And I remember my mom. She was going through a divorce, and this stuck with me forever. And she was saying how when her and her husband were arguing one day, he was like, "I hate the sound of your voice." And my mom was like, "Damn, it's not like an action that I'm doing or something that I can change.
Right.
Like, this is me.
My voice.
As
I
a
can't
person.
change my voice, yeah.
So you telling me that you hate me?"
Yep.
And she said after that, there was no way of them even being able to fix their marriage
Yep.
because of what he said. And to see that pain and to hear that pain of how it affected her, I was like, I will never say something out of anger or out of me being spiteful or being upset, because that's detrimental to a person.
It is, and it's an emotional scar that you can leave on somebody. And I've been there before. I mean, I've said some things before to some people in my life. And, well, I guess the difference between people that say things to hurt people, maybe because they have a buildup of issues with that person, and maybe it's just a buildup of stuff, and they actually feel remorse later for what they said, or even during the moment they can still feel the remorse.
Yeah.
But there's some people that just say stuff blatantly and don't care.
You know,
Those are the people that, you know, you want to watch out for. Those are the people that, like,
Toxic.
toxic people. Because when I say something to hurt somebody's feelings, and I know I hurt their feelings, even my kids today, like, I will go up, I'm like, you know, and when I'm talking to my kids, I'll tell them, you know, and I've caught myself in various times, you know, about to say something. I'm like, Gracie, don't say that. Gracie, don't say that. And I tell my kids, and I bring them back after, like, the argument, right, or the confrontation, the moment, you know, sorry I said that. I didn't mean to say that. You know, I did not mean that. You know, I would never, and you know, I try to make it right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I try to hold my tongue, and I think I've been doing a pretty okay job, because after the, you know, I did slip up one time and did say something to hurt somebody's feelings, and it was a buildup, you know, of you know, their issues and whatever they were dealing with in life, and you know, I just kind of got sick of it. Like, come on, wake up, you know.
Yeah.
But then I realized that, you know, that was jacked up for me to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So how do you prevent those buildups? Though is the most important thing. You know,
is to communicate regularly with that person.
Constantly.
To be able to have an open line of communication and tell people how you feel in the moment instead of waiting for it to blow.
Yeah.
You
And I
know?
think that's why so many people have issues in any type of relationship, because it becomes overwhelming, overbearing. You know, you have so many other things that you're dealing with in life, and people are like, oh, here we go again. Oh, it's something else. Now here you go. And it's like, even for me, it's like, no, I'm very, like, communicative. I love to, like, discuss the way I feel. I love to talk about anything and everything, because I want people to know, like, where I'm at, what page I'm on, and how things affect me. But for some people, they might not be able to handle that emotionally, and some people just don't like to talk. But in order for you to have a successful relationship, a successful anything that you're doing in life, communication is key to success. Period.
You know, and positive communication. I mean, positive communication, because you can communicate, but you can be very negative and not really get anything accomplished. I mean, we're talking about a love thing here. We're talking about combining your care for this person and their care for you, and making a wholesome conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I sit down with my kids all the time, and I, you know, sit down with my family members and stuff, and I tell them how I feel, and I'm like, okay, this is when you do this, I feel like this, and you know, when you don't do this, I feel like this, and I mean, sometimes, like, kids is one story. Like, that's the whole, the kids are everywhere. You know what I'm saying? You want to call kids bipolar, because they're just all over the place all the time.
Still
you know what I'm saying?
learning.
They're still learning, they're still growing. You know, you got to cut them a little slack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we're talking about, I guess, in adults, or in, like, romantic relationships or intimate, you know, partnerships. You know, how to communicate in those cases, because, like, you can say something to your partner and destroy their whole soul by saying one thing. Like, my ex used to throw everything that I had that was personal, that I had told him. Like, when we get in an argument, he threw it in my face, and I'm like, whoa! And I'd be like, did this Negro just And after a while, I just stopped sharing my personal information with him. So there's a lot of stuff he doesn't know about me because I never told him, because I never would. Because he was the type of person that would throw that shit in my face, you know what I'm saying? But when you're talking about a loving relationship, people that actually love you and care about you.
Love is an action. It's not just a word. Love is an action. That's something that you have to do on a daily basis. And it's so important. It's vital to us as humans, you know, period. And I experienced the same thing within my marriage, and then it sucks because then you move forward and you meet like amazing people, and there's so much that you hold back because you're like, damn, I don't want this person to use this against me. I don't want you to throw it in my face. And that's not the way it should be, because we all make mistakes. We all have downfalls. We've all done things that we're ashamed of, or that we wish we necessarily might not have done, or hey, that we did, and it's not that we're ashamed of it, you know, but that you want to share with someone to give them the ability to learn from it. So for someone to like throw it back in your face, it's like, that's fighting words.
Those are fighting words. Yeah, those are fighting words.
Now we gotta fight.
Now we gotta fight.
Now I want to say something to you.
To hurt your feelings. Yeah, say something about your mama or something. Your mama jokes or something. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and it shouldn't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it makes it
fighting
dangerous.
fair. Yeah, fighting fair. I mean, fight fair when you are in a confrontation, or I mean, before it even becomes a confrontation, let's make it a conversation.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey! There you go.
Before it becomes a confrontation, make it a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And then and conversations can blow up. So when conversations are getting heated, that's when you take a break.
Take a break.
You know, that's when you're like, okay, you know what? I had to do that today. I had to do that today. And there's a song by God, what's his name?
You say Tank or?
No, Justin Timberlake.
Oh, Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, he has a song out with, I can't remember the country artist's name, but he's a singer, country artist, and they have a song called "Say Something." And sometimes the best thing to say is nothing. So that's what I did. Like today, I had a situation, and I was like, I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna say nothing. Just all right, bye. You know what I'm saying? Woosah. And then later on, when I confronted this person, I didn't have to confront him because everything was already fixed. Because I kept my mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like making it something, instead of blowing it up out of proportion. You know what I'm saying? Well,
yeah.
So, you know. So yeah, you know.
That's something that like I've really had to learn how to master for myself, because I'm the type of person, if I get to the point where I feel like you're purposely hurting me, I can be very vindictive. I can be very, and I'll think about stuff for a long time, and then wait for that moment.
I'm patient. I'm a patient revenger.
And be sitting in the cut like,
I am patient with my revenge. I really am.
You
think everything? I'm so patient. I will wait.
I'm just thinking and thinking
contemplate.
and thinking, and then that's horrible. Because then on the inside, you can feel it just
creeping up,
building up.
And you're trying to be, you know, but that's only if they continue to perpetuate this behavior towards you. And then if they chill out, then all of that stuff will subside within me. But if they keep pushing, it's
going down.
I'll hold it in. I will hold it in. Like I see what you're doing. I'm not saying nothing about it. But and
that's something that I'm still working on, because I'm very passive aggressive. I went from being like an explosive bomb to learning how to control those things to now me.
Oh, somebody wants us to turn the music up. Sorry. We can't turn the music up. Then you won't be able to hear us talking.
We'll make sure that we get a jam session at the end.
We'll get a jam session at the end. MC Ibushi.
What up, cousin
Ibushi.
That's my cousin.
Is that Ibushi or Bushi? MC Ibushi?
Ibushi. Yeah.
Okay, I said it right the second time. It took me so
long.
Sorry to cut you off, my bad.
You good. We got Callie in the house.
Yes, we do.
We got Callie. But then you don't want to be passive aggressive either, because then you find yourself in a position where people feel like it's okay to treat you a certain type of way, and that's where I found myself this year, and I'm like, you know what, like, you gotta let people know what it is.
Boundaries,
yes, and that's what I'm learning.
You know, I learned that, and I'm glad I have, and now the only thing that I have to learn is how to come back to the middle, like India Arie says, because there's a song, have you heard of the song by India Arie called Back to the Middle?
I haven't.
Well, any India Arie fans out there who knows Back to the Middle, it's a song about this person who was shy at first, and then she was super, not famous, but super outgoing eventually, and she became arrogant, right? Or he or she, they became arrogant or whatever. And in between these two personalities, she would have to find that middle ground. And that's kind of where I am, because I'm like, I was super passive. Now I'm super like, I have super walls up, these boundaries. Now I have to find a way to come back to the middle. So that's kind of where I am right now. So,
and with people too, I've learned, you know, I wanted to give people chance after chance after chance, and listen to those things.
You get one chance with me.
I don't do that no more.
One chance, and that's it.
I don't. And people who I have to interact with, just like we're talking about relationships. Say for a marriage, you have kids with somebody, and there's like a very volatile relationship, and then y'all get to the place where you really can interact with each other, have conversations. I had to learn with my, ex-husband, we can't be friends. And for a while, it was hard for him. Like, okay, we cool, we co-parenting, we getting along, but we cannot be friends because of everything that has happened up to this point. I refuse to put myself in a place or a position where I have to deal with nonsense. And that's always going to come up when there's still somebody involved that has feelings. You know? So,
and that might dissipate over years. That might change over years. That might change over the time. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes it doesn't.
And sometimes it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, I've seen. I don't know. Some people are better at it than others. You know,
some people are. Because I have my daughter's dad, and here we are 10 years later, and it's the same thing. And I'm like, you know what? I'd rather just do it on my own than be in a situation where we arguing and dealing with stuff that is unnecessary, you know?
And getting the kids involved and stuff like that. Like, you don't want to involve your kids in y'all's drama.
No. And I hate seeing
make
that.
the kids suffer because of y'all's failure as parents, you know what I'm saying?
It's not fair to kids.
So, what was we saying? How to make, let's see, interacting after a breakup when kids are involved. Not letting the kids suffer. So, I think that, not letting the kids suffer because of y'all's breakup. Like, when two parents don't communicate regularly because y'all hate each other, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's stupid. Y'all got some baggage, and I think that that's really childish, especially when one parent is trying.
Yes.
Now, both parents not trying, okay, y'all both have some issues, you know what I'm saying? But if you both have some unresolved issues and stuff, but if one person is trying to communicate and stuff, I mean, Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Work with me, like especially when this person is allowing communication with your kids and letting you into their lives and not being that kind of mother where they're like, you can't see the kids because we're not together. I would never be that kind of parent. Don't ever get it twisted. I would never be that. I never have been, and I never will be. I've always allowed my children to see their fathers, whether they wanted to see their children or not.
Or not. Or a man being like, oh, well, you won't be with me, so I'm not going to do for my kids.
Thank you.
Your kids are your kids. No matter what happens, the kids should be a number one priority. I don't care if we hate each other. I can't stand to see you. We can have somebody else who steps in and drop the kids off or whatever the case may be, but it should never get to that point where the kids are affected. Like, I'm never going to talk shit about my exes to my kids. They're going to have to learn to figure things out on their own. That's not for me to do. Regardless of what our relationship looked like, that is not what y'all's relationship should be based off of.
Thank you. Hands down. Hands down. Men and women, all y'all out there, it's a lot of women doing that, but it's also a lot of men doing that too. Like making your kids suffer or because y'all's relationship didn't work out. That's so childish. Grow up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I try to communicate with my baby's fathers, you know what I'm saying? Because I have to for our children's sake, you know what I'm saying? And then, if they want to be funny about it, that's their thing. Like, I am the bigger person in this situation. That you have to be the bigger person and stuff. And if the other person doesn't want to respond, then
because it comes back to love. Once again, love for your kids. You want the best for your children. So what can I do in spite of the way I'm feeling, in spite of what's going on? I love my kids enough where I want better for them, and I want to give them an opportunity to have something different than what I had growing up.
Yeah, man. We got a Keisha how do you say your name? I wish I could pronounce that.
Oh, Keisha, and you know it. That's my cousin.
And
Cali. That's why I said, what up, Keisha?
Oh, Keisha, and you know it. How you thank you for
that's
watching?
We got Cali in the
watching.
house.
My mom is watching. Big Boss is watching. What's up?
What's
up,
what I'm
saying? Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Every time somebody tune in, that's when I cut you off. Every single time. I'm so sorry. Like, I swear to God, that's not intentional. Who keep calling me?
Now
I paid my bill already. Leave me alone.
We about to fight.
We about to fight.
And for me personally, I know and it's different for everybody, but when it comes to my kids, I'm not going to beg, plead, fight for someone to do what they supposed to do. Like, I'm going to do what I need to do outside of that. Like, kids deserve the best, period. So if you at a place emotionally where you being immature, like, that's going to come back on you.
Hopefully it does come back on you. Because, so. I mean, you never know. Like, I mean, karma's funny. I don't know if karma is always really true, but... I mean, I don't know if I believe in that, but I do. I'm not saying that it won't come back around, but I mean, maybe it'll come back around when you're 80 and alone on your deathbed. You know what I'm saying? But by then, who cares? You know, we done already grew and moved past your you know,
you're a
childish. You're a non-factor. We done already got married and had, you know, whatever, our own life later. But what I'm saying is, like, just when you have a child involved between two people, the breakup, you know, normally, sad to say that yes, people break up after kids, and that's almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's just what it is, especially dealing with minority families, because we don't have the structure, the foundation to know how to build a strong family. And even if, you know, there are other cultures that stick together, but that doesn't mean that they're happy.
They're happy.
You know what I'm saying? They may be staying together for the kids' sake, or they may be, you know, it may be a spiritual or religious type of factor, you know what I'm saying, involved, and maybe a stigma with the community around you that makes you stay together while you know, this guy is, the husband is cheating, or the wife is miserable, or, you know, it's just unhappy. Just because you're together doesn't mean you're healthy.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's another reason why so many relationships fail, because people are doing it for the wrong reasons. You shouldn't be doing it because you have a kid together. I know for me, when I got married, I never wanted to get married, and my husband knows this, and, you know, it's not going to cause any issues, but I felt pressured because everyone's like, oh, y'all have a baby together, you already have a kid, y'all need to get married, y'all need to do this. So we felt like we had to appease everyone, and that pressure of trying to appease everyone made us so unhappy. Like, we were so much better
being friends,
and just being good. Like, what we had going was sufficient for us, but we allowed too many people to step in and have their opinion and say this and say that. So even now, when I'm going through stuff in life and people try and say something, I understand if it's coming from a place of love, but if I'm good where I'm at, that's why I don't share stuff with people, because I don't want you to feel like you can overstep that boundary and say something or do something that it's not your place. If I share with you, that's one thing.
Yes. And
but don't just come to me while you on the outside looking in and think that you have the answers, especially when you're not in a place or a position to say shit to me.
Well, okay, I have two different views on that. You know me, I'm a natural mediator. Okay, I naturally have different viewpoints because I am very, very open-minded. So are you. Very open-minded. So when I see something, when I see something, even if I don't know that person, I may wait after a couple sessions of getting to know you before I say something. I may not say something that first night or something, but if I see something that's just like, you know, I may come to that person because, not trying to be arrogant or nothing like that, but I have this strange ability to make people see different perspectives. You know, I kind of can help you see what you may not be able to see at that time. And you may not get it that night, but I guarantee that next morning you're going to be like, damn.
Oh, trust me, I know.
She was freaking right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say that I'm right about everything, and I apologize in advance if I ever turn anyone in the wrong, you know, direction or whatever. But, you know, I do have this ability to see different angles of different situations. So, like, I'm the type of person where even if I do come into a certain situation and see something, I'll go, I may not say something in that particular moment, but if I get to know you, then I'll start to gradually give you my opinion.
Well, that's different if someone's in your inner circle and someone who you constantly dealing with or spending time with. That's different. But I'm saying someone who's on the outside looking in, say if you post something on Facebook or whatever the case may be, then everyone just starts going ham, you know, and thinking that they can, like, start calling and texting and, like, no, sometimes people need to vent. Sometimes people just want to say something and get something off their chest. So that doesn't mean that you're a therapist.
Yeah.
You're not Oprah Winfrey. You're not Ayana. You're not, you know what what I'm saying?
Ayana. What's her name?
Ayana.
Ayana. Is it Ayana or Lola? I can't say it.
It's Ayana.
Is it?
Ayana, fix
Okay. Yeah, fix
I know.
Yeah.
I might go on her show.
But just like, oh yeah, but you're so funny. And then you
That'd be dope.
Yeah. Big ups to Ayana. She's the dope. She's bomb. And you know who else is dope is Abraham Hicks. And I sent you some of her stuff.
Yeah.
But she was talking about some of the stuff that you said where you can't always take other people's opinions. You know what I'm saying? And I've come to that point in life where I may listen to your opinion and I may, sorry. Oh,
She gotta break down, y'all. You love that song.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's alright. Sometimes you gotta take a look.
Anyway, sorry. Anyway, but Abraham Hicks, she would say like, don't always allow someone else's opinion to change your outlook on life. Like, and I was doing that already, but I'm glad I ran across what she was saying because I was like, damn, it makes a lot of sense because I would let everyone else, like you said in your marriage, you know, you were taking other opinions from other people and stuff instead of thinking about what was best for you. You know what I'm saying? I was like that in my first marriage, listening to other people's opinions and stuff, and what work for them was not going to work for us. You know what I'm saying? And everybody else,
probably didn't work for them either.
It probably didn't. You know, but maybe it did. Who knows? But still, but maybe it didn't. You know, so you know, you gotta take your own, stick to your foundation. Whatever works for you, you have to stick to that. You have to stick to that. Whatever feels good in your gut. Like in a positive note, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about positivity here. So in a positive note, if something rubs you the wrong way, you know, it's just like you gotta call attention to that because otherwise,
your intuition.
You're gonna
Everyone has that alarm that's built on the inside of them. So when you feel that, you gotta pull over real quick. You know what I'm saying? And readjust and think about some shit. You know, that's why it's so vital even before you go into a relationship. And there's no right way of doing things because people are very good at being deceptive and showing something different if they want something. But you really got to take the time to put in line and allow certain people to be in your life and really find out what someone's true motives are. Because just because someone loves you doesn't mean that they have the best intentions for you either.
If they don't have the best intentions for you, they don't love you. Straight up. Sorry, but that's
just what it is. But you know what's crazy you say that too? Because life being real and people having issues, it's just like having someone who's a parent and they're getting ready to have a child and they're a drug addict or they're an alcoholic, and because of this they put this child that they're carrying in a bad predicament. People are fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes people do have good intentions. Sometimes they do have love for something or someone, but they're not at a place mentally, emotionally, or spiritually that they can handle that. And so that's why you have to be careful and really put in line who you're allowing in your life, because someone could love you, but it's not like it's an action. So once they show you that they're not able to give you what you want and need, that's where you got to cut the cord and separate yourself and do something different.
Yeah, you know, don't be scared to let people go.
Let them go.
You
have to let them go.
To let people go because
it's
people
toxic.
If they're not giving you positivity and they're not encouraging you to be the best you can be, they don't need to be
or showing the effort, you know. And what you said earlier when we were talking, you have to listen to understand, not respond. So when you're having conversations with someone,
sorry, I'm excited about that one.
I love that, because even if we have a different opinion or a different view, I want to take the time to listen to what you're saying and not interrupt and not try and prove my point. Let me listen to what you're saying so I can really understand where you're coming from. It doesn't mean that I'm going to agree, but then I have a chance to understand where you're coming from and figure out what we need to do moving forward in order for us to have a better understanding of each other. That is so vital, and people don't do that. As soon as I start talking,
cut off everybody.
I hate that. I hate that, because I will sit there and listen to what anyone has to say, and then as soon as I start talking, you cut me off. And I think a lot of people do that when they know that what you're saying is powerful and profound, and I found that so many times in my life. You cutting me off because you don't want to hear the truth. I'm willing to listen to everything that you say, but as soon as I start expressing myself, and I'm very articulate, which is one thing that I love and appreciate about my mom, she was like, when you say something that's really going to affect somebody. And when people know that about you, they're like, They do karate.
Yep,
They like the karate.
They're blocking you. They blocking
They
blocking everything you put up. You
Oh,
know
you
what I'm
ain't
saying?
ready. You ain't ready.
Y'all ain't.
You ain't ready. And
No,
that's
for
when
real.
you know.
Like, that's when you know. I mean, there's a meme out there, and this applies to everybody, but the meme, it says, stop messing with guys that talk over you. Stop talking to guys that talk over you. And this
I
is,
know what you're talking about.
yes. And this is more than just men. This is stop talking to people that talk over you. Don't talk to them no more. If they talk over you, and I have a tendency to talk over, but I do have a tendency to talk over. So I'm not even going front. I talk over you sometimes, but I do.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? But I think
it's because you get excited.
It's because you get excited. It's not because I disagree or because I feel like you have this point that I don't agree or something. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm on this pedestal where I can you know, talk over you or nothing. But I mean, I just have a tendency to get excited and blah 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 whatever. Okay, but I'm talking about like that people that don't listen to what you're saying and don't even take in what you're saying. It's like if you're saying something and they say something completely freaking different, they weren't listening to what the heck you just said. So
I hate that too. Yeah, I hate that too.
So.
The meme that you're talking about says, when you're dealing with someone, let me talk louder and cut them off so that way she can't validate her point or something like that. Have it on my Instagram.
And that's what they do, and they basically make you forget about your whole damn point. Now
they're trying to confuse you with
those are toxic. That's a toxic relationship. That's called gaslighting. For people that don't know what it is, it's gaslighting, and that's where they make you forget about your topic so they can start talking about their problems.
We're gonna have to talk.
That's
about
what
that.
Narcissists do. They completely make you forget about your topic, and by talking about something other than what you were trying to talk about. So that's a whole nother show.
So, if for anyone who has a difficult time doing that, or struggles with communication and interacting with someone, and you're in a relationship and it's very difficult for you to communicate with your partner, really take the time the next time y'all are in a bad situation, or before it even gets to a bad situation, maybe just ask them, like, okay, so moving forward, if I'm feeling some type of way, or if I want to tell you something, what's the best way that I can communicate with you? Because sometimes, even for me, being overtly, wanting to communicate, that might be difficult for people. So when you're in a relationship, sometimes you have to ask people, about you feeling attacked. What can I do? How can I approach you for us to have a conversation where it's a peaceful setting, where it's a setting where, we can really sit down and talk, because that looks different for everybody.
It does. I had to do that with my kids, and my kids schooled me on how to approach them, straight up. And I mean, a lot of parents out there don't want to take the time to give their kids validation. I try to validate my kids, and yes, I am the parent, so yes, I do run my household. Don't get it twisted.
But then you respect it.
But I respect their opinion, and I respect the way that they want to be approached.
Their personality is different. And I had to learn that with my kids, because I want things my way.
Yep.
And me and my son, his birthday is the same day as yours.
Oh my God, that's true.
And he's like a male version of me. So
God.
I'm very aggressive and very but he's the opposite when it comes to that. So he would feel like I was attacking him, but I like things done my way. And he's like, Mom, I understand where you're coming from. I respect where you're coming from, but at the same time, you're gonna have to approach things differently, because then he shuts down, and then there's no communication. And he's a male. Women and men are different. We communicate different. We look at things differently, and I have to remember that. Just because we're so much alike, we're still different.
You're still different. And the male and the female is we're like two different freaking species. I honestly don't think that we're the same species. I'm not trying to be funny or sarcastic. I'm so serious.
Men are from Mars.
And women are from Venus. I totally believe that. I mean, not literally, you know what I'm saying? But we don't have, because I have to teach my children how to communicate. And I have 4 boys, okay? So for y'all out there who don't know, I do have 4 boys. And I have to teach my boys how to communicate, because I want them to be able to communicate as men in the real world. Yes. On a intellectual level and on a compassionate level, not just arguing or screaming and yelling
or shutting down.
Shutting down. And I talk to my kids all the time about not shutting down, and I will get up in their face like, talk to me,
tell me.
And a lot of talk to me now. A lot of young men, a lot of men in general, do not communicate, and that's not their nature. I get it. That's fine. And there's some stigma behind boys communicating. It's sensitive. Blah blah blah.
They're showing their emotions.
They're showing their emotions. Yeah, that's
but
not
once again,
true.
that's a good thing. That's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. It is. You know what I'm saying? My kids, when they get in their relationships, they're going to have the best relationships ever because they're going to be able to talk to their women. Mm-hmm. They're going to be able to talk to their boss without freaking cursing them out. Mm-hmm. They're going to be able to talk to the bus driver if they miss a stop or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, but they're not going to blow up at every given time. Yeah. Right now they're teenagers, so yeah, they still learning, but shit, by the time my kids get out the house, they're going to be pros. And that's what a lot of mothers, because there's a lot of mothers raising men. So when you're raising men, you know,
you said it well. It's hard for a woman to raise a man.
It really is, but it's not as hard as it seems because if you put the work in, and if you have to come down to their level sometimes. You really have to.
I think it just depends on like the circumstances and what you're going through. Like even with me and my son and what we're going through right now, which is very difficult for me. You can invest so much, you can teach so much, you can give your child everything, but at the same time, it's what they take away from it and what they're receptive to and what they're willing to use moving forward that will allow their success not only in y'all's relationship but in life. And I've had to learn that for myself. You see so many people who've gone through just horrible traumatic situations and they can't get through it. They're never the same. That's why so many people have drug addiction, alcohol addiction. They self-medicate and they're not able to make it through life because some people are not able to draw from and really take in the important things of those lessons. And then you have some people who go through some fucked up shit and they're able to like boom, 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 which I feel like for me, I was able to do, but it just depends on your mindset and where you want to be in life. What do you want out of life? What do you want out of that relationship? What do you want out of that job? What do you want out of everything that you've been given? And that's why some people make it and some people don't.
I think that everyone has the tools and the makings of this amazing person, but it's all about who is guiding you, I guess, because I don't know, I'm not perfect, but I have made some amazing progress with my boys, and that's because I talk to my children about emotional shit. I talk to them about, we watch YouTube videos about how to calm down when you're angry. We do, we've learned about breathing exercises, and we've learned about calming and soothing mechanisms that can help you sleep at night if you're having trouble sleeping. I have one of my sons that has trouble sleeping, and I say, put on this YouTube beach music and you'll go to sleep immediately. I swear to God. Some people you gotta
figure out what works for you.
You have to figure out what works for your kids, and you can't give up. As much, and you can give up for a day. If you're tired, give up for a day or two. Let it go. Yeah. Shit, I'm tired. But then if you care, then you'll come back, in a couple of days. But in those 2 days that you've taken off, you will have time. You will have had time to research, Google is the shit, man. Google helped me. Google saved my life. I swear to God.
I didn't have Google growing up. So
now. Google saved, in this current day and age, Google has saved my life. Google and YouTube has saved my life. How do I calm down a child that can't sleep? How do I do this? How do I do that? I Google every fucking thing. I swear to God, excuse my language, but I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And you don't have to take everything. You take what works for you. You know what I'm saying? Take what works for your child, what for your situation. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to take the whole concept. You take what you need and leave the rest alone. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I've been doing, and I'm telling you,
it is. And like I say, everyone's different because even for my son, I try and tell him stories about me growing up and what I went through, and we're so much the same, and this was me, and I can relate to you. And my son was like, I don't want you to try and fix what I'm going through. I just want you to listen and be there. And I had to really understand that. And I was the same way when I was growing up. My mom gave me all the tools, all the resources. She was an amazing woman, but until I got a taste of the real world and really understood why she was telling me those things and why she was acting the way that she was acting. It didn't matter what she said. It didn't matter what she did. I had to see it for myself because of what I was experiencing and because of what I had been through was different than her, you know. So I guess it just depends on, you know, the person, the individual, and that's the beautiful thing about life. We're all different. You know, so you can't judge someone. You can't like, oh, I did this, or, you know, like, even you told me about the sleeping mechanisms and listening to that. Like, that's dope. Like, just having people who care enough to say, hey, just try this. Like, it might not work for you, but it worked for me. So
and there's other options. I mean, you're saying, but I get what you're saying. Like, everyone is different. You know what I'm saying? Everyone is completely different. You can't expect what works for somebody to work for you, but there are other mechanisms in the same realm or in the same kind of scope that can possibly help you too. Like, I mean, like the beach waves don't work to help you go to sleep. Maybe play some meditation music or something, you know, play some rain flute music. I mean, that really helps me out when I can't sleep, because sometimes I can't sleep because I was abused in my marriage, so I have trouble sleeping. You know, I used to wake up at 2:30 in the morning every night because my ex-husband was an asshole. He should cheat on me, so I was always on pins and needles because I was feeling, you know, very vulnerable. So I would wake up at 2, 3 in the morning and go downstairs and smoke a cigarette, you know what I'm saying? And then come back to bed, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, why do you care? Oh, now you care? You know what I'm saying? So I still have those moments where I can't sleep, and sometimes I'll try those different mechanisms to go back to sleep, and it's still hard. To this day, 2, 3 in the morning, I still can't sleep, and I wake up and shit, and I'll be like, and I'll have to put on some meditation music to help me go back to sleep, you know what I'm saying? So, and it really works. It really does.
Try it, y'all.
I'm swear to God, if you can't sleep at night, if you can't sleep, you know, there's, I guess I heard about something called melatonin or something.
Yeah, melatonin.
Melatonin, that helps you. It's a natural, I don't know
what it's like, an herb.
Okay, I don't know much about it. I just heard that it was natural. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's supposed to be a natural something substance that helps you sleep and stuff. But then, you know, there's also other mechanisms like beach waves. I love the beach. You know what I'm saying? If you like rain and thundering and stuff, I love that. I listen to that. I have some flute music. You know, I have some meditation music. I put on these affirmations that says, "You are great. You are positive. You are." Except for that, it says, "I am." So I am this, I am that, I am, and it has this beautiful music in the background, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it really helps. Don't. It's not lame, okay? It's not lame.
What up, Sammy?
Hey, sis.
Texas is in the building right now. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? All right.
So he said, "There's no such thing as a perfect relationship. A conversation rules the nation. So talking to each other is definitely good topic. I will for sure stay tuned."
Oh, thank you.
Shout out to.
How you gonna jinx me? She said, "Oh, thank you." We said at the same. Oh.
Don't jinx me.
We are too much alike.
And that's so dope. We got people down south. We got people from the West Coast, the East Coast, tuning in.
West Coast. I'm just playing. I don't represent the West Coast. I'm from up north, so Detroit. But no.
Oh, this way. Sorry, they didn't see my West. I did it the wrong way. So we're kind of getting ready to run out of time, but one thing that I really wanted to touch on today is opposites attract. Okay. Which is what really causes a lot of issues in relationships, right? Because of opposites. What is this?
You like this?
I feel like I need to be salsa dancing.
This is Usher and Romeo.
Oh.
It's like a salsa. You like it? Do you like it? Oh, this is so sexy. We're going to get all kind of errors on this video because...
What's up, Zakia?
What's up, Zakia?
I'm not really I like to salsa. I think I could do it, but this is...
I know a little bit. I can show you how to, not on air. I'm not going to do it on camera.
Next week, she going to salsa dance. We're going to put her in the dress, the little flower in the hair. It's going down, y'all.
No, we're going to do the Snapchat with the flowers.
That's what we're not going to do.
I'm just playing.
That's what we're not going to do. So, opposites attract. And one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this is like, so my upbringing was in the hood. Like, I'm from Park Hill. What's up, y'all? PH. But when I grew up in that time and era, it was like very gang prevalent. It was in a time where things were not good. You know, so what I grew up with and what I was accustomed to were, you know what I'm saying, doughboys, drug dealers, and what to other people may necessarily look down or frown upon, but those were my family. Those were my people who I grew up. Those were the people who I loved and they were my family. So then you get older and you like, you know what, I had kids, I separated myself from that, I wanted to do something different, but then you still have that attraction to what is like the forbidden fruit.
The forbidden fruit.
I'm attracted to the forbidden fruit.
Oh my God.
I like the whole fruit basket, don't get me wrong. But like the forbidden fruit, so like you might be someone who's very, very professional and like take care of your bills and good credit score and doing this and doing that, but you still might like those boys that are in the streets and doing stuff that they ain't supposed to be doing. So what happens when you're attracted to, the opposite of where you're at and what you want out of life?
Well, in those cases, I think you could have in this case, we're talking about men, right? So in that case,
a man to a woman, a woman to a man.
Well, it's coming from a woman's point of view. If you're dealing with a guy like that, you may be having to deal with a guy that has no clue on how to be a man.
Or how to
be in a successful relationship. I'm not talking about being a man as far as putting his clothes on and making sure he showers. No, I'm talking about being in a relationship, man. Like taking care of a family, taking care of a household, and being there for your spouse or your significant other. You have broken families, broken family syndrome or something, whatever, something that they just have never had the experience of having a wholesome, successful relationship, or don't even have the communication skills because they're so quick to cut people off because everything in their life moves fast. So nothing is consistent. Yeah. So then you have to deal with how to, I guess, teach a man how to be a man for you, and I don't.
Yeah, a man for you, not just he's a man. He's a man for what you want.
Yeah, be a man you have to groom him almost to be,
and maybe he wants to groom you to what he's used to. So now you guys are like fighting each other because he likes a certain element or a certain lifestyle, and not even necessarily for someone who's hood. But I was telling you earlier, like dating outside of my race, I'm mixed, I'm triracial, but dating someone who doesn't understand a black culture or understand like being a single black woman with 3 kids and my daily struggle and the things that I've had to go through, and they maybe don't have kids or they don't understand what it is to to be black and
to be black,
just be black, and a lot of people that might offend them, but my dad's white, and my biological father didn't raise me. My father that has raised me doesn't have biological kids. He's white, and he'd be the first person to tell you he's seen the things that black people have to deal with by having black kids and what we're up against and the struggle that we have, but a lot of people, they want to turn like an eye against certain things and act as if a lot of the things that are prevalent in the black culture are not realistic when they are.
Yeah.
So for me trying to date someone and explain that to them, have them understand that, and maybe they get it, but maybe their family doesn't get it. And I don't want to have to prove myself or explain myself or get them to understand.
Yeah, because you're dealing with, interracial relationship, I think interracial, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but there's definitely some bumps in the road with that. I've never really dealt with that in my life. Like, I had an interracial relationship when I was in high school. His parents loved me, they were Sicilian, so they have black in their blood, so they welcome me because of that, what I'm saying. And even if you date like a Jewish person, I think that they might be able to relate to that guy because what they went through, and they got the nappy hair too. Like when it rains, they shit freaking curls up, just like ours, what I'm saying. But that doesn't mean that they would accept. I'm just saying, like, as far as dating someone like on the opposite side of the tracks as you, what I'm saying. Even if you are into certain things, like me, I was raised in the suburbs. I'm a suburban chick, but I also had experience with, I guess, hood life or whatever. I don't know, whatever. Call it what you want. I did, a lot of my friends were from areas that I didn't know anything about, and that grew up in parts of the city that I had never seen. You know what I'm saying? And I can relate to them because I am just this, I like everybody type of thing. Like, I don't judge anybody. I was just, No, I mean, yeah, but not only that, but I feel like I can relate to people, even no matter where they're from. I feel like we have something in common because you can learn something from everyone. Like, it doesn't matter if they're homeless, you can still learn something.
And that's what I mean by
somebody.
being a chameleon. Like, no matter what environment you're put in or like who you are around, you're able to adapt to that situation. You're not going to be out of place. You're not going to feel like you're better than. Like, you're going to fit right in and like, yeah,
right
like
there.
this is where I'm at right
That's
now.
where I'm at right now, yeah. So yeah, when you're dealing with people or guys or, you know, I guess hood mentality type of people, you know what I'm saying? I posted this meme today. It was freaking hilarious. No disrespect to Cardi B and stuff, but I thought it was funny. It was a half-eaten hot dog.
Oh my gosh.
It was like a hot dog in a bun. It was like half bitten off.
It was like in the middle and like at the end.
It looked like a toddler had bit into it and it was his dinner. You know what I'm saying? And it was like girls that listen to this music. What does it say?
Girls that listen to this music eat hot dogs like this.
Yeah, something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, not to knock people, but I mean, I thought it was funny, and I had a lot.
You know what's crazy? I love Cardi B. Anyone that can take where they came from and build an empire, that's what she did. She built an empire. So regardless of what anyone has to say, she's making money. You know what I'm saying?
She is making money. Like, I give her that.
And she shooter herself.
No, I give her that. I'm not a hater.
Oh,
you know
no,
what I'm saying? No.
I'm just saying that's why I love her, because she shooter herself, and that's once again coming back to relationships. Be true to yourself. Show people who you really are, and they have no choice but to accept that.
Yes.
Period.
For real.
Period.
Straight
so
up.
Shout out to Cardi B.
Shout out to Cardi B.
You are who you are. That's
a
a beautiful thing. Like, don't conform and try and change and do something different to make somebody happy. Be true to yourself, and either someone can accept it or they won't. Don't water yourself down. Don't try to be 85%. Be true to who you are, and either people will accept it or they won't.
Yeah, that's true, and I give you that. Like, I'm not a Cardi B fan or whatever. I might listen to some of her songs and stuff, and being around different people lately, you know what I'm saying, being around different environments and stuff has opened me up to a lot of different music and stuff. Because normally, like, I'm real. When it comes to music, I'm very specific. I mean, but I'm open, but I'm specific to my openness. You know what I'm saying? My openness is like still very mellow, or still very, you know, like, even if it's raw, it's like still has some meaning behind it, you know what I'm saying? So but I have grown to love different types of music and stuff. And I mean, like, for the last 6 years I was only listening to African and Caribbean music, because I was doing an African Caribbean TV radio show. So like, that's all I messed with. So I was like missing out on all the American music. I didn't even know what the heck was out, you know what I'm saying? I was way behind. So now I'm catching up and stuff, and I don't necessarily like all the music that's coming out now, but there's still some good stuff. Regardless, there's still some good music. So,
what's up, Robert? We got Texas in the house once again. Love you. So we getting to the end of this. Time goes by so fast.
Can we go one more hour? Y'all running another hour? Who wants another hour?
It's been a long day, y'all.
It has been a long day. Oh my God,
it's been a long day. But y'all, once again, we really appreciate the time that you invest with us. Y'all listening to us. We love your feedback, your input, your opinions. Like, we love y'all. We love y'all. It's not just the word, it's the action. We love y'all. We can't wait for the opportunity to have some of y'all up on here with us.
Yeah,
chilling with us, you know?
Local folks, or unless you like traveling to Denver,
y'all can travel.
You can travel to Denver. Or no, like, even if you come to Denver just to kick it or whatever, you just happen to be in our city. You know what I'm saying? You straight up.
5280, right, baby. Mile High City.
5280. You know what I'm saying? Literally a mile high. That's why we can't breathe out here. And if you come to Denver and you're not from Denver and you're not from like a highly elevated city, get ready. Just be prepared, because you can't breathe, okay?
And don't try and drink too much, because you'll have to be laid out. If you want to learn how to drink, this is the place you need to be.
It's so funny, for real.
I'm serious. Anyone who's been in the service, they'll tell you that. When you want to learn how to drink, come to Colorado.
If you can learn, anything, sports. If you want to train for sports, you got to come to Colorado too.
Beast mode, pretty much.
Beast mode.
No. Share. Real, live, uncut. You know what I'm saying? QB.
All right. DIA Studios. You know, QB
Network. QB Network.
QB
DIA Studios. You know what I'm saying? Share, y'all. Get ready next Tuesday. We're going to have to spice it up a little bit and talk about something a little naughty.
I do want to talk about something a little naughty. Can we dive into something naughty just to leave a cliffhanger? Let's leave a cliffhanger.
Ooh, so what you want to talk about next week?
I want to talk about.
Let's talk about
sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about sex, little baby, little baby. You know that. Hey.
Okay, so yeah. So next week we're gonna spice it up.
Next week we're gonna spice
that
it up.
the
Y'all want
cliffhanger?
no, we still got a couple minutes though. Let's see. So if we go in, can we dive into some type of sex?
What kind of sex?
I don't know, anything. Let's go to.
Look, I'm getting a little
I don't
nervous.
know, like she's like, I'm getting nervous. We didn't.
No.
You know, it's hot. No, we got the AC on, so it's not too hot.
Look, y'all, Gracie will have us here until 8:45. So next week, we're not gonna give y'all a cliffhanger. We're just gonna talk about sex. We're gonna do something grown and sexy and naughty. Y'all get ready.
Summertime's coming.
Mama don't watch, Daddy don't watch.
Please
y'all.
don't watch.
Next week, don't watch.
Next week, just don't watch, y'all. Just because it's we building our audience. We're getting our audience together, and people are actually like responding to what we're doing. So
Next week, y'all don't get to watch.
Yeah, next week. And if you do, don't be offended because we are gonna be on something different. So well, we're not different, but spice it up. So she said, I can't do that. How do you do that?
I don't know.
I cannot do that. I have to have like a lot of drinks in order to do it. I probably look stupid. Like,
shut up. We love y'all. Tune in next week. Real, raw, uncut, and everything in between. We love y'all.
Love and pain, baby. Yeah.
We out.
We out. Peace.